You know, it's kind of sad. It's like my husband's still the same person, but I'm not. I was backing the car up, and he was standing next to me. He thought it was really funny to pretend I ran over his foot. And all of a sudden he went, ow! And then I got all freaked out, and of course, my heart started pounding. I got a hot flash. I started getting really nervous, and then he started laughing. And by that time, the car was in drive, and there's a small part of me that just wanted to put it right back into reverse and give him something to scream about. But I thought, no, he's a good man, and I'm menopausal, so leave the poor guy alone.
So we're here to talk about some of the psychological symptoms that can accompany menopause. Although everybody's a little bit different in how they experience things. Depression and tired and irritable and
forgetful.
Just forgetful.
Fatigue,
Yeah.
right here.
Irritable.
Yeah.
All those struggles sometimes are what's very important to an individual woman and worthwhile talking to your doctor about.
Dr. Martha, everything bothers me. I'm really irritated. Things that I used to think were like really funny, I don't think are funny anymore. And is that ever gonna change again?
This is part of your menopause for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, sometimes people have emotional changes and they find it really difficult. Up and down, sad or depressed sometimes. Is that part of it for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I just miss I used to be fun. I miss the fun, crazy me. Things like I said, things I used to think are really funny now really irritate me.
Like you're grieving a little bit the way things were.
Yeah.
And you haven't adjusted yet. There's a whole set of symptoms around the psychology and the way the hormones interact with your brain, and there are treatments for that. Sometimes feeling irritable means actually depression, and drugs that were developed for depression can help menopause a ton.
Right.
So that's what you want to emphasize with your doctor, that this is the thing that bothers me, up and down emotionally, easy to be irritated, and an antidepressant might be really helpful.
Dr. Martha, I have a question for you, and I hope you have the answer. Fatigue. I am tired all the time. I mean, I wake up tired after 8 hours of sleep, which is ridiculous. And I mean, I'm just tired, and I just don't want to be hyped up on coffee all the time. So what do I do? You have the answer.
I don't know if I have the answer, but I'll tell you about how to discuss it with your doctor.
Okay.
So you say, this is what bothers me, and it doesn't seem to be related to sleep, so therefore it may be related to menopause. It's a symptom that can happen.
Okay.
Lots of times people's fatigue is because they're having hot flashes all night and they're not sleeping well.
True, true.
But there's some changes in the brain and different hormones in the brain, and feeling tired is sometimes a part of a depressive type symptom.
Okay.
And even though you don't necessarily feel sad or blue or like hurting yourself or someone else, that can actually be part of it, and there are treatments for it. They're antidepressant medicines.
One thing that I did start back on was hormone replacement therapy, and I could tell, my doctor said it's going to take 3 weeks for it to get in your system. I could tell within 72 hours that I felt better. I had a little bit more energy, and it's a true story. I mean, it's within 72 hours I felt so. I want to stay on hormones the rest of my life. I don't care.
So it's really interesting to think about the interaction between hormones and parts of the body, and everybody's a little bit different. And this was a very powerful effect for you.
Right. It worked for me, and it may not work for you.
Did having a little more energy then let you focus on eating healthy and exercising and taking care of yourself that way, too?
Sure. Yeah, it had an impact on everything. I mean, when you feel better and you have more energy and you just don't,
And that all adds and facilitates it, too.
I had a question or issue with part of the whole menopausal process, and it's the, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, memory loss. The forgetfulness, it drives me crazy. Is there anything I can do to help that, and how long does it last? Does it last, like, forever, for the rest of my life?
No, it's a part of the menopause symptoms that people don't talk about very much, do they?
Yeah.
But yes, it can get better. Sometimes because we learn little tricks about things, but sometimes because it's part of a bigger psychological picture and we have some treatments that can help with that. And it's not like it's the beginning of an inevitable decline. It's a phase, and people kind of stabilize and figure out how to manage and feel better.
Accept it.
So there's a little acceptance, but a little bit of getting better and getting past that up and down hormone withdrawal, that funny change that happens for most of us. People get past it. And there are things that will help you with it. You should make sure you let your doctor know that that's a really big deal for you.
Okay, I will. Thank you. So one time we were up skiing, and I was, getting a hot flash, not feeling great. And when you go up skiing, when you go in for lunch, there's always an issue trying to get a table. So we went in for lunch, and I spotted one table on the far end of the building. So I went racing for it and literally threw myself over the top of the table going, "It's mine!" And everybody in the whole place was looking at me. My husband and my daughter literally just turned around and walked out, left me on the top of the table.